Hey guys, welcome back to the Mike Lenoci Show. This is a Miami Dolphins Week 1 recap, and is it one of the more exciting Victory Mondays we have had since last year? Yes, of course. Obviously, it's not more exciting than the Baltimore Ravens game. I think that still was one of the greatest Miami Dolphins comebacks I've ever seen and game, and it made us feel really excited going into the season. And here we are, picking up where we left off last year when Tua was healthy. And I would have to say it was one of the best games I've ever attended in my life. I mean, I would have to go back to the 90s when I saw some Monday night blowouts against the Colts or something. But the way it was going back and forth, it was a very entertaining game. If you're a Dolphins fan, you have to be excited. All the hype going into the season is now real. And we saw it firsthand against a defense, arguably on paper, you could say is one of the better defenses in the NFL, okay? Going into the game, all right? Offensively, we picked up where we did last year when we were in a groove. Defensively, we picked up where we were last year where we expected them to be a little bit better, but they showed up when it mattered, okay? We'll break down the game, but also, let's not overreact. It's Victory Monday, but we don't want to have an overreaction Monday. All right, we've seen this before. Teams start off hot, then lose 7 in a row. We've done that before. We did that 3 years ago. So I don't think that's going to happen now, but I was worried going into the game. I knew that this would be an evenly matched team, but I knew it was a big game too, right? This is one of those games at the end of the year that is going to be a tiebreaker for whether a team gets into the playoffs or not, whether it's a conference win or if it becomes between the Chargers and Dolphins to get a wild card spot. Hopefully we win the division. We don't have to worry about that. But I'm excited, and as Dolphin fans, you should be very pumped. First of all, I know there's easy things to shout out with Tua and Tyreek and some of the play from other role players on the team. But number one, overall, you were going up against, the line was going up against Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Now, we're talking about some of the two best defensive ends in the NFL. Arguably, you would put them in the top 10, 15 of defensive ends in the whole NFL, in the whole league. All right? If you were doing a fantasy draft, you're drafting Bosa, probably, over some quarterbacks. Okay? And to allow 0 sacks without Armstead? Give it up for Lamb. We give it up for Lamb. Great game, okay? Some miscues, some bad running block. The run blocking was a little bad at times. Austin Jackson, we hate him. We all hate Austin Jackson. We've hated him for years. We didn't understand why he was even making the team last year, and now we do because we got to give it up for him too. Austin Jackson has improved. We have to give up that credit because we were all ready to say, I mean, I was even saying last year he was a bust. I go, what are we doing? He's a bust. And then this year we didn't address the O-line really, right? We brought in Isaiah Wynn, who started at left guard. So Liam is now a depth guy. Robert Hunt, great guard. Connor Williams, great center. Obviously there's some miscues with the snapping. All right, with the exchange of the ball. This was happening in the preseason. We saw a little bit 3 times yesterday. That can't happen. We got to clean that up. Could have cost us the game. Should have cost us the game, to be honest. If it wasn't for the Chargers' bonehead pass interference play before halftime, they probably could have won. All right, defensively, our run defense was awful. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Offensive line, right tackle Austin Jackson. Hell of a game, man. Hell of a game. I know that our offense is getting the ball out of Tua's hand quickly to avoid sacks, but there were a lot of plays where he had time to throw the ball. I mean, we're talking about deep down the field passes. I even was telling everyone before the game, I go, we're not going to see big plays. He's going to get the ball out of his hand quickly. You're going to see a lot of screens, a lot of slants, just quick releases, and then Tyreek tries to make a break for a big play or Waddle, something like that. And I thought we were for sure going to have a run-first team this year. I thought, hey, maybe that's what they're going to kind of go with to throw people off. Like, we're going to have big rushers. It almost makes sense now why we didn't go after Delvin Cook or why we aren't so quick to jump on this Jonathan Taylor thing because this is a passing offense. And McDaniel is doubling down and saying, no, I'm going to be a high-producing offense. I mean, this game was a college game, 70 points scored, okay? This is an official, legit offense that I assume going forward, as long as everybody's healthy, should be a top 5 offense, if not number 1, okay? And especially if this O-line, which is supposed to be below average, expected to be a below average offensive line, plays at an above average pace, the NFL's in trouble. And this is without any running backs, really. All we had was Mostert, and Ahmed played a little bit. But wait till Wilson comes back and our rookie. Let's see what they have in mind for our rookie. That's where I kind of want to point out 2 things that I thought were interesting. Okay? Eric Kunama, is that how I say his last name? Lining up in the backfield. 2 carries, 17 yards. Not a lot, but what is that? What is that? Little crumbs, little sprinkles of Deebo Samuel? That's all I'm saying. Could that be something that is the beginning of something later on in this season that nobody really expects? Maybe that's why he was originally drafted for. You know, you have Waddle, you have Tyreek, you had Cedric Wilson, you sign these guys, and then in that same year, in like the 3rd or 4th round, you draft Eric. You're like, wait, what's that about? This was the process the whole time. He's lining up in the backfield. You can't make me not believe that they are setting him up to be a Deebo Samuel. I'm telling you right now, this is Mike McDaniel. If you look up his history, he was the one who kind of created Deebo Samuel coming out of the backfield and having a lot of run plays. This looks like, hey, 2 runs for 17 yards. 1 was almost a touchdown, which if he would have got in, we wouldn't have fumbled that snap. We should have won this game by 10 extra points. You know, we have the interception in the red zone, which I don't fault Tua for. I think that interception was like a throwaway ball on 3rd down, and he was like, let me take a shot here. Although I don't agree throwing it to a 5'8" wide receiver, you know, get Cedric in there or someone else who's a little bit taller. But 2 times, you could have at least had a field goal on that possession, and then the fumble snap should have been a touchdown. But either way, 10 points left on the board. Very good complete game offensively for the most part. Excited about Eric lining up in the backfield. I don't know if you guys are excited as I. Maybe I'm wrong. You could tell me, but I assume that this is the beginning of something big later on in the year. I'm not saying right away, but I would think later on in the season, you could see a big game out of Eric. If the fact that they had him lined up there twice, 3, 4 times, on the last play of the game, he was back there. This is not an accident. There's something brewing in the kitchen, and it's Eric Kunamawawa. I don't know. Either way, that's an exciting thing. I just think that we have to be excited about that little crumb right there, okay? Offensive line played great. Tyreek said before the year he wanted to break the record. Well, he's on pace, okay? Tua played great, man. As someone who's gone back and forth with him, like a lot of us, I love him. You know, I want him to succeed. Then I'm worried. I go, hey, just based off of injury history, it's not reliable and it's not looking good so far. Going in, I go, listen, this guy's got to play at least 14, 15 games for us to go, all right, we'll give him a contract after the 5th year pickup, okay? But extremely proud of the way Tua played, made some big-time throws. Nobody can be yelling at us about, oh, he's underthrowing Tyreek. Pretty sure 3 different times he hits Tyreek in stride, okay? We're talking about beautiful throws, some of the best throws he's made in his career. One of the best throws I actually think that he made was when the line did break down a little bit and he was able to create time for him, and he rolls out to his left and hits Burrows on that, and Burrows comes down and hits it right before the sideline, and that was, I believe that was like a 3rd down play. Unbelievable throw, unbelievable catch, and unbelievable pocket awareness from Tua. If you go look at all the rookies that were playing this week, I rewatched all those games. A lot of them have such bad pocket presence. One thing Tua has always had that's better than any quarterback we've had in years is his pocket presence. Sure, you could say, what are his weaknesses? You name them. You could say arm strength. Didn't seem like that was a problem this week, okay? Seems like he was hitting all the throws. His pocket awareness is actually pretty good, all right? And he's well more aware of getting rid of the ball too, which is exciting. He gets rid of the ball quickly. He's making decisions quicker. He's aware that he doesn't want to take hits. I don't even think he took a hit. So that throw to Burrows was an unbelievable throw. The Tua Tyreek thing, the fact that they started off this hot is big, man, because everybody's watching that film. New England's defense, rewatching that game, good. They kept them in the game against the Eagles, okay? They kept them in the game, and they're going to be a problem. They're going to be way more of a problem than what the Chargers were this week. I expect them to at least get a sack on Tua. They do have a very good defense, and I think that they're going to adjust to what they've seen and maybe over-adjust and maybe triple cover Tyreek. But that opens up the field for Waddle, and also Durham Smythe had like 48 yards or something like that. And then I expect more in the run game. I expect more, maybe not necessarily a 500-yard pass game against the Patriots, but you should be a little bit excited about, man, they're going to have a hard time, the Patriots, trying to figure out how to stop this offense. Because if you want to double coverage Tyreek or even have a spy on him with a double coverage, we showed enough to where, hey, Burrows played great, and there's some great chemistry right there with Tua. And then you already have Waddle, and then let's see what they do with Eric out of the backfield. Now, is Eric just kind of filling in there for where Jeff Wilson would be normally doing? I don't know. But there's a lot of things to be excited about, and I'm excited to actually see the Patriots game. I'm not nervous. Like the Chargers game, I was nervous. I was like, we could lose. And I go, it's fine. Again, it's fine if these first 4 games, 3 of them are on the road. If you come out of the first 4 games 2-2, that's a win for Miami. There's not going to be a 13-win team in the AFC. I don't know if you guys have looked at these teams and how good they are. The number 1 seed is going to be a 12-5 team. I strongly believe that. So I think there's going to be a lot of 10-7 playoff teams, some 11-6 division winners, especially in our division with how tough it is. Now, we'll see how long this Aaron Rodgers injury goes, because if it's a long time, they got a tough schedule up top. They could be out of it before November, before October. I mean, if they start off 1-5, it's going to be tough for them. I don't know how bad this injury is going to be, but either way, it's fine to expect some losses. You can't be so delusional. So if the Dolphins came out of this first 4 games 2-2, great start. That's a great start. With 3 road games, that's a great start. Now we're sitting here at 1-0 with 2 road games left, one of them against New England, which we don't think is as good as these other teams. I don't think they're one of the top 12 teams in the AFC, as a matter of fact. Yes, it's Belichick. Yes, they have a good defense, but watching their film, it kind of kept them in the game. Mac Jones didn't look as bad as I thought he would. I will say that. He didn't look as bad as I thought he would. But I expect a comfortable win against the Patriots. It's still going to be close. It's a division game. And Belichick is Belichick. Regardless if he had Brady or not, he's still one of the great coaches. And I think he'll have some answers for us. But this offense, as long as Tua is healthy, man, we are going to be an elite team. I'm talking about one of the best offenses since the Vikings in the 90s, since the Rams in the early 2000s. It's going to be very exciting to watch. And I'm excited to see what the Patriots are going to do to try to stop us, if they can. Maybe they'll stop something of that offense, but I think we have so many weapons that they're going to have a hard time. Now, defensively, let's get into it. All right? Our defensive run, our run defense was awful. And I said to someone, I go, well, it is one of the best offensive run teams in the NFL, all right? Sure, because of us, right? After week 1. I will say it's less of a run offense, less of a threat to run the ball as the Patriots. They have 2 good running backs, but if you watch the film, they didn't run the ball good at all. The reason the Patriots were kind of in that game was they got a late touchdown and then a dumb turnover by Hurts in the end, but ultimately, the Eagles they jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and then the Patriots defense got them back in the game. But then late in the game, Eagles should have kind of pretty much ran the clock out, and Hurts has a horrible fumble, basically at like their own 35, 40-yard line, and the Patriots are right back in it, and then they give up 2 sacks. So Patriots O-line is not good. I think the defense has an even better game. I expect more sacks earlier in the game. That was very frustrating how many times Jalen Phillips was this close to a sack during the whole game besides the last drive. All right, he was playing way better than Chubb. Now, we're going to be patient with Bradley Chubb, okay? I want a big play out of him. I want some sacks. We need a lot out of him because we kind of gave up some good capital for him, and now he's got Fangio, so we expect him to be really good, right? Well, let's hope so. But Jalen Phillips, he looks like a beast, and he looks like he's annoying to deal with. The Chargers O-line is very good, okay? Patriots O-line is not that good. Not as good as the Chargers O-line. So I expect that Phillips and Chubb are going to have a bigger producing day next Sunday night. And I think that's going to help us a lot. And I think defensively we show up way better. I mean, I don't think we are going to give up more than 21 points against this Patriots offense. I don't believe in the Patriots offense. I think that the run game didn't look good. Their offensive line doesn't look good. I think Mac stood in the pocket and made some great throws. I'm not out on him. I don't think he's a bust yet. I think they have some great receivers that are kind of under the radar. So we'll see how they do. I think they could still get some big plays passing it, right? That was kind of where we got beat up a lot. Although Herbert had a lot of time to throw the ball. Not a huge game, only like 220 yards. And I think in the first half, he only had like 100 yards passing. They were really running the ball a lot. Now, do I think the Patriots could run the ball? Sure, they got 2 guys, and they should be able to. But I don't think it's going to be over 200 yards like the Chargers. I expect a more comfortable game for the Dolphins. Maybe a 28-17 win, right? That could be realistic. Maybe a 27-17 game, right? Patriots maybe kind of make a little run in the fourth because we have a comfortable lead. That's truly what I expect. But going back into the defense, huge sack by Cater, right? Is that his name? Love him, man. This guy was a practice squad, comes to the game, makes some big plays on defense, has a huge sack after the bad interception, which you got to love. That guy plays with fire. That's a bonus already, okay? Howard got picked on with penalties a lot. He was going up against Keenan Allen. Oh, he's oversized there. Keenan Allen's like 6'4", I think. But overall, Herbert didn't beat us. It was Eckler that was running the ball a lot, and basically we only punted the ball one time against a defense that should be really good. So I'm excited, man. I mean, we're not going to overreact. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going undefeated or something crazy. Patriots is going to be tough. But if you steal this Patriots game in New England and we head home 2-0 against the Broncos, you're feeling good, man. We're feeling really good. Okay? Get this. Game 1 was big. I said, man, if we could steal this game, it's huge because it's a conference game against a team that is expected to be a playoff team. They were last year. And it's against a team that is going to be head-to-head and maybe a tiebreaker later in the year against us. Possibly. Hopefully not. Hopefully we win the division. But if we don't, guess what? We're one up on one of the teams that is likely to be a wild card because, listen, Chiefs 0-1, fine. But if they had Kelsey, they would have won week 1. I'm still buying them to win the division. That team could go 0-3 and then win 11 in a row. We've seen them do it. So let's not sell ourselves on the Chiefs yet, okay? But either way, both those teams, you got Bengals, Chiefs, Chargers, 0-1. People were high on the Steelers. We're going to have to see more games out of them, but they didn't look good. I know it's the 49ers, but hey, even the Ravens, I thought they were fine. I rewatched the game. It was fine. Nothing that made me go, whoa. Jaguars struggled a little bit too. Now we're here. Bills look okay. Not that crazy. Jets have a good defense. They're going to lose this game, and we'll see how long Rodgers is out. But here we are. You got the Bills. They kind of look like they're back to what they're doing. Josh Allen's made some weird throws, but they're doing what they normally do. They don't seem like they're a more improved team. Their defense still seems great. Milano's a great middle linebacker. But Browns, let's see. I got to see them again. I'm not sold on this Bengals thing. Listen, that was 1 week. I don't think the Bengals are going to be bad, and I don't think the Browns are going to be the dominant team in that division. Let's not overreact. We see this every year, right? So, I mean, perfect example when Miami was 3-0 and Adam Gase's final year. We're like, oh, here it goes. And then we lose like 7 in a row. So you can't get high earlier in the season. But good start for Miami and the way that the rest of the AFC has played. I would say that we've played the best game in the AFC outside of probably the Bills right now. And then, I guess you could say the Ravens, but I mean, I didn't think what's his name looked crazy like anything MVP status against a team that they should have really crushed. But Houston's defense is pretty good itself right now. So you got a lot to be excited about for Miami. So, yeah, Tua to Tyreek. This is crazy. This is definitely something to be very excited about. And I expect some records to be broken. Some maybe Miami Dolphin records at least. Obviously, Tua was great, man. You can't deny that he was great. He was comfortable. I mean, he made some smart throws. He was able to create time for himself. That's a huge one. Something that like Ben Roethlisberger or Aaron Rodgers or even Tom Brady was always great at. Not scramblers. He's not a scrambler, but was finding ways to make time, to make plays happen. Wasn't always throwing to his first read. His eyes were great. Listen to Dan Orlovsky. I like watching him break down Tua's film. He kind of breaks down things that like we normal people who didn't play or really study film the same way. He breaks it down brilliantly. He's like, bro, he is so good at making defenders think he's going somewhere else. And he did it magically in this game. And it worked well. And I think people are aware now of this Dolphins offense. And there's not a better way to start. So now people are going to be overcompensating for Tyreek right now. And we still have Waddle. Waddle had 80 yards and barely was involved in the game. So it's going to be a fun year. And I'm really excited. And I need you guys to let me know what you think. Comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. We also do weekly episodes, me and my buddy Anthony. And we kind of cover the whole NFL. And we go over our picks and our highlights of the year. Check out the channel, like and subscribe. But each week I will do little Dolphin recaps for my Miami Dolphin fans. And then sometimes maybe bonus videos later in the week to preview games because I am a diehard Dolphins fan and I'm really excited. And I hope you guys enjoy the channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next week for a Victory Monday, hopefully. Hopefully we're 2-0, and I believe we will be. All right. Thank you, guys.